Beautiful souls, welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zielinski and I work in the spirit dimensions, and I'm hanging out in my favorite place today. I'm in the forest. The forest for me brings so much grounding and clearing, healing and releasing, but it also has brought me magic. I've experienced a lot of magic here in the forest. I am talking today about fairies and fairy energy, a little bit about the elementals. As always, you take what resonates and leave the rest right here. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm just here to share some of my incredible experiences with fairies. Now, fairies, their earliest documentation was by a historian named Gervase Tilbury in England in the early 13th century. And there are many documented cases of people experiencing fairies a lot before pre-Christian times, where fairies, nature gods, were worshipped. And there is also a lot of documentation in Celtic and pagan belief systems with fairies. There's also a lot of theories about good versus evil with the elementals, and I can only share with you my personal experience and how fairies have been showing up in my life over the last couple of years. Interestingly enough, fairies have been showing up in some of my readings lately. They have been showing up very similar to spirit guides, and one of the theories with fairies is that they do have souls, and perhaps they would have had a living experience, but they do show up very similar to the guides, and their messages have been very similar to people. And their message has been to lean into the magic of life. There is magic all around us. There is magic and joy and laughter. And the fairies that show up in my sessions have been bringing people that reminder to lean in there a little bit more. Now, how I see fairies, I see them in very different form. I've seen them exactly how you may think that they look like, little tiny people floating around. I've also seen them as light beings, little wee lights, very, very similar to orbs, and kind of coming in, being able to communicate with me and share the messages that they have. I've also experienced a lot of forest fairies, a lot of nature fairies, and sometimes it's just their vibration. Sometimes I can feel their energy in like little hollow holes in the trees or at the base of the trees. And people will often say, Lana, are you sure that's not your imagination? There have been many times in my mediumship journey, in my spiritual journey, where there have been unbelievable experiences where I literally think to myself, is this the time that the white room will be prepared for me? But you know what? I always stay so open to all experiences and process them from that point of alignment. Now, I am going to share with you an experience that I had in this forest out hiking with my daughter. Now, about a year ago, we were out on one of our regular hikes. We have hiked through here hundreds of times. And yes, we've experienced some really cool feelings and some, perhaps some little magic in behind trees. But what happened on this particular day while we were hiking right near the log that I'm sitting on, we both seen this, best I can describe it, was it looked like a little troll, and he was running full tilt right across our path. And I think that if I hadn't had my daughter with me, I think I would have had that moment of, am I seeing things? Am I making things up? But my daughter saw it as well. And there was that pause between both of us. We just kind of stared at each other, and then we both reacted the same way. Let's follow it. So here we were, jogging through the forest, trying to keep up with this little troll creature that was running ahead of us. There was light coming up from the ground as he ran, and he literally disappeared into the hollow of a log. And I think we both kind of stood there in shock, in silence, at the awe of what we just witnessed. And I remember just standing there trying to process it. And I've seen a lot of things in my time, but I've never seen a little troll. We were both able to give a description of him. We were both had the same height. This is how big he was. We both saw his body in as the color orange, and his hair got oranger and brighter and turned into like orangey red as the higher his hair got. And it was, I know this is going to sound really funny, you guys, it was standing straight up. So we kind of walked home processing that experience. And I said to my daughter, she was 11 at the time, I said to her, you want to draw that for me? You want to draw what we've seen? And I brought a copy, I brought the drawing here. And this is exactly what she drew. Now, children do have imaginations, 100%. I saw this exact same creature, if you will, or you know, whether he be a fairy or a gnome or whatever. I'm not even quite sure exactly what to call him, but whatever he or she was, the energy of magic, the light that was coming out from underneath his feet, and the forest itself had this feeling of just profoundness and just so be open to experience things that, you know, I think it took both of us a couple days. And, you know, we were a little reluctant to tell people at first. We were like, how do you even share this, right? You know, and I reminded myself and I reminded my daughter that there is magic all around us, and being open to share our experiences. People don't have to believe you. People don't have to understand, and it's okay. It's okay. The more we open up to magic, the more we open up to nature spirits, the more we open up to the dead dimensions, the angelics, the more we expand to possibilities, and without having to, you know everything. That's been the greatest thing for me, is why do I have to know everything? I don't have to have all the answers. Was it real? I believe so. I seen it with my own two eyes, and it was witnessed, you know, and I've witnessed and seen so much magic from the elementals, from fairies. And I think that, you know, just kind of putting down maybe old theories or other people's opinions, or people documented things over history and with their experiences, you know. But I think that when you dig a little deep into yourself, into the magic all around you, you are shown far more than you could ever imagine. And I think that has been such a big key with not just my mediumship, but with my life in general. When I look back and reflect on how my life has changed, you know, where I was 25 years ago, when I put down having to know answers, or really having to have a firm belief that something is real or not real, when I just started allowing spirit, and spirit being the dead folk, the angelics, the mystics, the elementals. When I just started allowing that, I'm telling you right now, you guys, it has been one incredible journey. Do some people think I'm crazy? Probably. There are, like I said, there have been moments where I myself was like, but I stayed in allowing. I don't want to miss anything in this lifetime. I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to see something so incredibly profound, so incredibly magical. And I think that there is a lot of deliciousness in that. I do hope that my time here sharing a little bit about my experiences with fairies has brought you perhaps a smile to your face, or perhaps maybe there is some magic in the forest. Maybe there is a dimension of fairies. I always walk in the light. I've shared that before. So, you know, because of my stance in that, I've never experienced anything other than beautiful magic. And it's all around us. As always, I am wishing you so much love, light, blessings, and a spirit-guided day.